this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Chris, calling from Nashville, Tennessee.
Chris from Nashville. What's on your mind, Chris?
Wanted to just kind of ask, I tried to get in a long time ago and I never could get in, but just you talking about history, it's true that like right now they are so, even when it comes to the Black history portion in the school books, they are definitely trying to phase that out and then trying to rewrite it. And, you know, like a lot of the events that happened in Black history, I did not know until after I graduated, because it was pretty much the same thing. Slavery happened, you came from Africa, and Lincoln freed the slaves, and then that was it.
Everything's fine.
You barely touched on the Reconstruction or any of that, the 3/5 of a vote and all that stuff. And then you could just kind of also see it like after the 1619 Project was wrote, and then you had all these other historians trying to rebut it and trying to write the truth, trying to rewrite the true facts of history, which kind of brings me to another point. Speaking of history right here in Nashville, Tennessee, we are taking on John Rich because he has decided that because his kids are being taught, they're reading this essay about white privilege and racism and hate. So John Rich feels like that it will harm his kids or harm the kids at a predominantly all-white school.
Okay, so John Rich, just to be clear, he's a musician, is that right? Is he a country music guy?
Yes, that John Rich. And he's trying to get he's trying to get a Black female professor, teacher fired at this particular school. And he has used like fake Twitter accounts and stuff, and just stirring up a bunch of stuff because he feels like that the kids shouldn't learn about white privilege, and they should not learn about the racism and bigotry. And it's just a big mess of what he's trying to do. And then I just feel like that, dude, you're actually proving the essay's point. And it wasn't the African-American teacher who wrote the essay. It was actually a white female who wrote the essay that is being taught to the students. But he's been actively going after this African-American female. And it's just really disgusting in how you see, that, they don't want the kids to know, you don't want your kids to know the truth about what America was truly founded on. And it's just amazing. And so he got pissed off enough to where he was doing some type of writer's benefit or something to raise money for the school. So he said that he felt like that he could no longer do that with a school that is participating in teaching hate.
Now this is a private academy, Lipscomb Academy, and it is it's a mostly white school apparently, and he is this is fascinating. I mean, I got to be totally honest with you. I know nothing about John Rich. If he was sitting in the studio,
have you heard of Big and Rich?
If he was sitting in the studio right now, and he was singing one of his songs, I would just probably look around the office and go like, "What's going on?"
Do you remember "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy"?
Right. Now he was on he did participate in Celebrity Apprentice, and he did win. So to me, it kind of makes sense why he won, because he shares the same views as Trump also.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Jonathan Richman, and I almost had a heart attack.
That would be very weird. Well, listen, I appreciate the story, but yeah, I think that's I think that there's a lot of that going on these days. I think and thanks for the call. I think a lot of this era is again is marked by this sort of, there is a white knuckled quality to there a lot of white people losing their privilege and feeling like it's oppressive. And and it's like a personal offense on some level.
Yeah, you can't say that like America winning the. I think what upset. I mean, a lot of things upset people about the 1619 project, but like saying just matter of factly that it was actually probably good for slavery that the American side won. Just I mean, if you're a slave, you probably wanted the British to win. Basically, like that's probably a perspective that historians could have looking at the evidence, and that sort of like thought is not welcome. Like you can't author that into a major newspaper without people getting upset about it.
Right.
And it's so stupid because the sooner the white working class gets over these dumb bourgeois ideologies, the sooner they're going to fight and win as a united multiracial working class.
I think it's interesting to note the class thing here. That is Lipscomb Academy, a private school
Right,
in
yeah, this is not
Nashville.
this is
Oh,
not
yeah.
a hotbed of the white working class.
This
would
is
be my guess.
this is many levels removed from that. I don't think these kids are in any danger of not just being poor.
But
immiserated.
racism wouldn't survive unless it's reproduced in like the ruling class. So that's why.
Yeah, this passes it down.
This passes it down and it spreads it far and wide, right? I mean, the I don't know, the guy working, the local plumber, or a plumber's not necessarily a good example, but frankly, but the guy working at Costco who's mad. Is just not getting an article written about him because he's not pulling his support for the literary pursuits of the local public school or whatever it is.